Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Johnson back again with another Bible story for you. And I know I don't quite look like me today. This is an African head wrap and an African shirt that I'm wearing, but it really is me. I think you can tell by my voice that it really is me. But I did bring Paul's letter back to the Ephesians, and I will open it up and I will read the short part about the special jobs that we heard about last week, and then I'll read the new part that Paul has for us to hear today. And remember, even though you're hearing my voice, it's Paul who writes the letter. All right, this is last week's part. God has special jobs for each of us. Jesus is the one who makes us strong enough to do them so that we can work together to show God's love to the people around us. Oh, remember that? God gives us special jobs. Different people have different jobs. And this is the one today. God gave me, Paul, a special job too. I used to think that God only loved some special people, but God told me to say that He loves everyone. We are all special. God's plan is that the people in His church, the ones who love Jesus, will show others that because Jesus died on the cross for us and then came to life again, anyone who loves Jesus and believes in Him can be God's friend. Wow, that was Paul's special job, to tell us that Jesus is for everyone. And if we love Jesus and we believe in who He is, then we can be God's friend. How special. Now, I told you I'm wearing my Africa clothes today, and that's because we were missionaries in Africa. Now, a missionary is someone that God sends somewhere to tell someone about Jesus. We usually don't know who we're going to talk to when we get there, and we might be doing other jobs as well, not just talking about Jesus. So come with me to the story pictures. I have two sets today. The first set is about a man named Philip. And Philip was a man that God sent someplace to talk to someone about Jesus. Come with me. In this first picture, boys and girls, we see Philip right here with his yellow head covering on. It keeps the hot sun off his head. He's standing beside the road that the angel told him to go to, and he sees a chariot, a little cart coming that's being pulled by two horses. And God says to Philip, "Go closer to the chariot and stay close to it." So Philip does. He obeys God and he goes closer to the chariot, and this is what he sees. He sees a man riding in the chariot, reading from a scroll. See, it's just like my scroll letter that I showed you of Paul's. He sees this man reading, and he can hear the man. The man is reading out loud. He's saying the words with his mouth out loud. And Philip can hear what he's reading. And Philip can tell that this is a scroll Bible. Look at this man. This is a very, very important man. He works for a queen of another country, and you can tell that he has a lot of money, and he is very important because he has a lot of gold jewelry on. His headband, it's almost like a little crown. He has gold earrings, and in Bible times, if men had a lot of money, they would often wear earrings. He has some gold on his necklace. His clothing is very, very expensive. That means it cost a lot of money. This is a very, very important man. This man knows about the one true God, and he asked his queen if he could go to the big city of Jerusalem and pray to God there. And the queen said yes, he could go. Now he's coming home again, and that's how Philip happens to see him here on the road. Philip goes closer, and he says to the man, "Do you understand what you're reading?" Do you know what the words mean that you're saying? No, I don't, says the man. Could you come and sit in my chariot with me and explain it to me? So Philip gets in, and this man right here is the driver, boys and girls. If we go back to this picture, he's the man who makes sure that the horses are going where they're supposed to go. The man who's reading the Bible, the scroll Bible, would not be able to do that if he had to drive the horses. So since he is so important, he has another man come with him to be his driver. So Philip gets into the chariot with the man, and the man tells him what he's reading. It says, they led him away to die. He did not make a fuss. They made fun of him, and then he died. Tell me, sir, is the prophet who wrote these words talking about himself or someone else? And then Philip said, oh, he is talking about Jesus. And then Philip told him all about Jesus, how Jesus was born as a baby in Bethlehem, how he grew up and took good care of people and healed them, made them well when they were sick, told them how much God loved them, and how he came to die on the cross to take away all of our dirty sin spots, all of the wrong things, the naughty things that we do. And he told the man how important it was that if he loved Jesus, that he needed to tell him he was sorry for his wrong things. And the man wanted to do that. They kept driving along, and the man said, oh, look, there is some water over there. Could I go and be baptized? We could stop right here. And they did. They stopped the chariot. The man took off his outer clothes, and he and Philip got down into the water, and Philip prayed over the man and told him, I baptize you in the name of God the Father, the Son Jesus, and his Holy Spirit. And then he dipped the man quickly down into the water all the way and then brought him back up again. People do that as a sign to show other people that they love Jesus. And then God took Philip away, took him to another place where he could tell other people about Jesus. But this very important man who worked for the queen put his clothes back on and his jewelry, and he went on his way, all the way back to his home, telling God how happy he was. He was so happy that now he knows about Jesus, the special one that God sent to die and take away our dirty sin spots, but also to rise again. And if we tell him we're sorry, then we can be part of God's family. This man is part of God's family now, and he is so, so happy that Philip came to talk to him that day. So that was Philip's story, boys and girls. Philip was a missionary to that man from that other country. And he did tell the man about Jesus. But missionaries do other things besides telling people about Jesus. That's very important. It's one of the most important things we do. But we do other things as well. And I have a second set of pictures of people that we knew when we were in Africa. And you will see some of the things that missionaries do in addition to telling people about Jesus. So come with me to the other pictures. Missionaries like to show the love of Jesus, boys and girls, by being friendly to people who look different than they do. Here's Colleen, right here in the white dress. She has her Bible there under her arm. It looks like they're coming out from after church, and she's spending some time smiling and talking with some of the young girls that are there. It might have been her Sunday school class, but she knows that God wants her to be friendly to people, so she is happy to share her smile with them and to talk with them. Here is Nurse Erica doing the same thing. She is sitting right here in this pretty colored dress, and she is talking with some of the boys and girls. This might have been a Sunday school class as well. Erica loves children, and she enjoyed telling them about Jesus. Erica also is a nurse, and she loves taking care of people. Here she's with some mommies that she has been telling about how to be good mommies, how to take care of their babies so that their babies will grow strong and healthy, and just like you, be able to grow up and be big and strong and not stay little. Here, if you look closely, one of the ladies is reaching out to give Nurse Erica a hug to thank her for taking good care of her baby and teaching her how to be a good mommy. Missionaries like to love people. A number of missionaries help people with being healthy, to be growing right. This is a little clinic right here, this little mud brick building with the grass roof on top. It doesn't look like your doctor's office, does it? But this is sort of what it is, except they don't have enough doctors in that country in Africa to take care of all the people. So the nurses would come here. The mommies would bring their babies and little children in. They would go in the front door, and the nurses would weigh them and measure them to see, are they growing well enough? Are they heavy enough? Are they growing taller? Are they growing up big and strong, just like you, boys and girls? And that's what that little building is for. The little yellow truck belongs to one of the nurse missionaries who would come and help the ladies who worked there to make sure that everyone was doing things the right way. This picture shows someone you know, right here, Miss Melissa. When she was a girl, when she was still in school, she is helping Nurse Françoise, right here, help a baby that has a twisted foot. Nurse Françoise knows that this baby is not going to be able to walk and run and play when it gets older if the foot stays twisted. So she asked Miss Melissa to come and help her put some special bandages on the baby's leg and foot. They're called casts. They go on wet, but they will become hard, and it will help the baby's foot to not be twisted, and she will change them several times while the baby is growing up. And that way, when it's time to take them off for the last time, the baby's foot will be fixed, and the baby will be able to run and play like other little children. How nice. This picture shows someone you know, right here, Miss Melissa. When she was a girl, when she was still in school, she is helping Nurse Françoise, right here, help a baby that has a twisted foot. Nurse Françoise knows that this baby is not going to be able to walk and run and play when it gets older if the foot stays twisted. So she asked Miss Melissa to come and help her put some special bandages on the baby's leg and foot. They're called casts. They go on wet, but they will become hard, and it will help the baby's foot to not be twisted, and she will change them several times while the baby is growing up. And that way, when it's time to take them off for the last time, the baby's foot will be fixed, and the baby will be able to run and play like other little children. How nice. Here you see me standing on our porch, right over here, and looking at our car and these people who are packing the car with some things for traveling. This girl right here has a problem with her hip. She can't walk right. She can't run at all. And her leg hurts her when she walks. She needs to go to a special place where they can give her some exercises that will help her leg to get strong and to be able to walk the right way without hurting. Her mommy is going to go with her, but it's far away, too far away to walk, and they don't have a car. So Mr. Johnson is going to drive them. So they're packing their things in the back of the car. The daddy and her brother came to say goodbye to them. They won't be going because the family, the girl and her mommy have to stay away for too long. The man will have to stay there and go to work at his house. So Mr. Johnson will drive them in the car and take them to the place. It's nice to be able to share the things that we have when other people don't have them. Here you see Mr. Johnson in this picture, right there, smiling at us. He is teaching some nurses. And this is not Africa anymore. This is the country of Guatemala. These nurses like to take care of people. They love Jesus. See, somebody even brought a Bible to the teaching class today. And Dr. Johnson is going to teach them from what he knows, from what he has stored up in his head. He is going to teach them how to be better nurses, how to take care of sick people and hurt people in a better way. And they are so happy. They thanked God that he came and talked to him that day, talked to them, because they really wanted to learn how to be better nurses. Probably the most important thing that we can do as missionaries, boys and girls, is to pray. And this is what Nurse Janet is doing right here. Do you see this little baby? Do you see its face? The face is very round. It almost looks fat, doesn't it? But it's not fat. It's just puffy. This little baby is very, very sick, and it's not growing very well. Mommy is sitting right next to it. Unfortunately, the picture did not show us her face. But she is very sad and worried that her little baby is going to die because it's not growing right. So Nurse Janet has given it some vitamins and some things to help it to grow. And now she is asking God to take very, very special care of this little baby and to help it to grow big and strong, to be able to run and play, just like you, boys and girls. Praying is so important. Missionaries pray to God. We talk to him. We ask him to help the people get better if they're sick. Help the people to learn about Jesus if they don't know about him. Help the people to be friendly to others if they're angry people. We ask God to help them learn to read and write if they need to learn how to read and write, and the missionaries are teaching them that. We pray for lots and lots of things. And God, remember, always wants to listen to our prayers. So remember to pray to God and talk to him about everything. We have some more new Bible words today, boys and girls. Now that we have been made alive with Jesus, we're going to do something else. This is the next part we're going to learn. I'll read it for you all the way through, and then I'll explain it to you. In him, that means in Jesus, in him you also are being built together. And it's in Ephesians 2:22. All right, now what does that mean? Well, in him means in Jesus, because we love Jesus. You also, and that means you and me, boys and girls, and other people nowadays who love Jesus. Not just the people that Paul was writing the letter to in Ephesus. Not just the people in the first church. It means all of us today who love Jesus. So, in him, you also are being built. And that means it's happening. It's not over and done with. It's an ongoing process. It keeps happening. Are being built. And you know what built means. When you build something, you stack up your blocks or your Legos, and you build a tower or a wall or a house or whatever you're doing it. You could do Lincoln logs too, either one. But remember, God's church is people, not just the building. So, are being built together. What does together mean? Together means that we are kind of in the same place. We're not far away from each other. So when you build your Legos, you don't put a Lego in one corner of the room and then put another Lego in the other corner of the room where they're not touching and say, oh, there, I've built a tower. There's one block over there and there's one block over there. No, that's just 2 blocks, right? 2 blocks on the floor. But when you build your Legos together, you put them side by side. You stack them on top of each other. If you're using your Lincoln logs, you're putting those logs down so that each piece locks into the piece underneath it so they don't roll off. Well, that's what God is doing with us in our church. He's bringing us together. He has us work side by side. Some things we will do all by ourselves, but most of the time we're working with other people. And that's what other people see when they look at us working as a church. They say, oh, look at those people. They all go in that building? That means they love God and they are working together. That looks nice. So let's say the words again. I'll say them first and then you say them after me. My turn. In Him, your turn. In Him, my turn. You also, your turn. You also, my turn. Are being built, your turn. Are being built, my turn. Together, your turn. Together. And where is it? Ephesians 2:22. Ephesians 2:22. Very good, boys and girls. Do you think we can say it all together? Let's try it. Okay, here we go. In Him, you also are being built together. Let's do that again. In Him, you also are being built together. Ephesians 2:22. Very good, boys and girls. This is our first day on these words. Good job. And we will practice them the next time we have a lesson. Now I think it's time to go to our song. If we're God's church, we are sinners saved by grace. If we're God's church, we are people, not a place. If we're God's church, we are loved by God. Let's show the world we are His family. Jesus died to take away our sin. He rose again and He wants to be our friend. He makes us wise so we can live for Him. We're adopted into His family. All right, now let's bring the camera closer so you can watch my mouth. If we're God's church, we are sinners saved by grace. If we're God's church, we are people, not a place. If we're God's church, we are loved by God. Let's show the world we are His family. Jesus died to take away our sin. He rose again and He wants to be our friend. He makes us wise so we can live for Him. We're adopted into His family. Let's add in the clapping on this one. If we're God's church, we are sinners saved by grace. If we're God's church, we are people, not a place. If we're God's church, we are loved by God. Let's show the world we are His family. Jesus died to take away our sin. He rose again and He wants to be our friend. He makes us wise so we can live for Him. We're adopted into His family. I hope you remember this song, boys and girls, and everything else that we've learned this week. Until next time, bye-bye.